So I've got a high pain threshold, and I'm used to people yelling at me from the sidelines. So I figured comedy would be a good fit. So speaking of painful things, I'm single, over 40, an NBM. Do you know what that means?
No.
That's never been married.
Oh.
Yeah. My mother's always complaining why my brother and I aren't married. And we could be. We're adopted, so. You know what, though? I figure that just might be the fix. I'll marry my brother, divorce him, and then I'll be over the stigma of never been married, which from what I can tell is worse than marrying your brother. So the wedding's next weekend, if you all want to come. Yeah, so my mother's partially to blame for my single status because she sent me to an all-girls school for high school. So it's not as if I can marry my high school sweetheart, right? At least not in California. So, someone had a strange sense of humor at the school. The main building was Beaverbrook. Kid you not. And the address was Bushy Hill Road. That was back in the 80s before shaving was big. And my mother was recently asking me about this guy. I'd been out on a couple dates, and she said, "What's going on there?" And I said, "Nothing, his history." And she said, "Well, what was wrong with him? You're too picky." And so I said, "He had man boobs." And before I could explain the concept to my 78-year-old mother, she blurts out, "Well, what's wrong with that? Your father had them too." True enough. But what my mother doesn't understand is I can't be dating a man with a bigger cup size than mine. And as you can see, that rules out the majority of men over 40. Yeah. Including my brother. So, and besides, what would people say if I married him? You could just see it. People walking behind us and whispering in those loud stage whispers. "We know who wears the bra in that But people really can't say I've been too picky. I've been very democratic about my dating. I've dated white collar, I've dated blue collar, I've dated no collar. I've even thought of clergy collar. But let's face it, I'm not their type. Although some would argue I have the body of a 12-year-old boy. So I've dated a postman. For the record, they don't always deliver. Dated a musician, total player. That ended on a bad note. Dated a robotics engineer. That was kind of awkward. It was funny in the bedroom. It always seemed like he was just going through the motions. You know what I mean? So that didn't work out either. Dated a mathematician. His stories never added up. I think I dated the same shrink Vanessa did. Say no more. I even dated a comedian, and the trouble with him, and ladies, you can relate to this one, is he always wanted me to come over to his place. Come over to my place, come over to my place. So I'm packing up my bag, got the change of outfits, the makeup, the whole lingerie, the whole thing, and it just got old. Come over to my place, my place. And sleeping in a Pinto is really cramped. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't feel sorry for him either because he had the last laugh. But, so, yeah, like many of you, I've had to resort to online dating, and what fun that is. And I'm thinking, whatever happened to the truth in advertising? At least in triathlons, they write your age on your calf, so you can't lie about that. And come to think of it, if they would just do me a favor and write S for single, so when I'm racing, I could, maybe a G for gay, although you might be able to tell by the running style. A ficus store would be great, but maybe not. So here I am online, and what's the biggest thing people lie about online after age and marital status? The next is body type. So guys, gentlemen, in this country, for the record, sumo wrestler does not equate to athletic body. I had an athletic gentleman contact me, and normally, for those of you who are fortunate enough not to know, the profile pics, you usually see the face, the neck, the torso, what they're wearing. This guy is all face. And, I mean, jowls the size of New Jersey. He had to be at least a 44 double D. And I mean, it wasn't even all face. It was cut off at the forehead and at the chins. So, but it's tough out there. So I wrote him back, and I said, hey, I'm kind of into fitness, and I'm looking for someone who's at least moderately fit. And, but thanks. And he wrote me back, I'm fit. Fit for what? A pie eating contest? Then you have these guys who are out of shape, who want a woman to get them in shape. And if I wanted to fix her upper, I'd call my realtor. And not the one who just wanted to flip me either. So it's really tough out there. But I don't mean to pick on men. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. Guys do say the most wonderful things and do the most wonderful things. I had a boyfriend, and he said to me he wanted to spend the rest of his life with the woman he loved. Isn't that the sweetest thing? At the time, I didn't realize he wasn't talking about me, but it was the sweetest thing. He had ADD, adult dating dysfunction. No, seriously, it was a sex addict, and he also happened to be an endurance athlete. So you can imagine how that was in the bedroom. Very time-consuming. So my friends have told me, to his credit, he did go to do a therapist. He agreed to go, but he could never make it past the receptionist. So that didn't work out. But my friends have told me you need to just slow down and you'll meet someone. So recently I had neck surgery, so I had no choice but to slow down. And they took a piece of my hip and put it in my neck, so now I'm hip from head to toe. And, which makes you wonder, if they took a piece of a guy's brain and put it in his pelvis, would he start thinking about his dating choices? Anyway, I was walking down the bike path with this big Frankenstein brace, and these guys went by me on the bike, and they said, you know, we could get her. She's hurt. So anyway, I got to go because he's waiting for me after the show. He says I'm too picky.